in headlines. The President reaffirms the administration's full commitment to strengthening the historic and close connections between the Maldives and India. Maldives and India holds discussions centering on bolstering bilateral ties in 6 key areas. And the Government of India establishes and hands over water and sewerage facilities in 28 islands to the Maldives.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSMNEWS in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. PSMNEWS reaffirms the administration's full commitment to strengthening the historic and close connections between the Maldives and India. He made these remarks while speaking at the ceremony held to hand over the completed water supply and sewage facilities on 28 islands in the Maldives, funded by the Government of India's line of credit facility through Exim Bank of India.
In his remarks, President Dr. PSMNEWS highlighted that these initiatives would provide significant economic benefits, boost the local economies, and together contribute to the nation's prosperity. The President further added that these projects are key milestones in the Maldives' bilateral relations with India. Furthermore, President Dr. PSMNEWS also emphasized the high-impact community development projects under Indian grant assistance demonstrate both countries' close engagement in socio-economic development. The President noted that numerous revolutionary initiatives are now underway as part of this initiative and that the plan is to accelerate their delivery to communities. He expressed sincere appreciation for the flexibility offered in restructuring the line of credit arrangement. During the ceremony, President Dr. PSMNEWS stated that India has always been one of the closest allies and invaluable partners, facilitating and providing aid whenever Maldives has needed it. The President extended deep gratitude to the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, the government and the citizens of India for their generous and continued assistance to the Maldives. Recalling his recent visit to India to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi, the President expressed appreciation for the invitation and the opportunity to meet with the Prime Minister as well as the President of India. He stated that extensive discussions focusing on the enhancement of the bilateral relations were held during the visit.
The Government of India establishes and handed over water and sewage facilities in 28 islands of the Government of Maldives.
The strategic project was financed through the line of credit facility by the Export-Import Bank of India, Exim Bank. A special ceremony was held at the President's office marking the handover. The official letter indicating the completion of the project and the handover was presented by the Minister of Indian External Affairs, Dr. Subramanyam Jaishankar, to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Musa Zamir. The government initially announced the project to establish water and sewerage facilities in 34 islands with the assistance of the Exim Bank on March 28, 2019. The project was officially contracted to the bank on March 18, 2019. The completed project includes the water supply facilities on 22 islands, sewerage facilities on 2 islands, and combined water supply and sewerage facilities on 4 islands. The key components of the water supply projects include installing reverse osmosis RO plants, water storage tanks, water distribution pipelines and water meter connections, as well as constructing administrative offices and implementing brine outfall systems. Additionally, solar panels have been installed on the administrative office roof to partially supply the power needed for the RO plant operations through renewable energy. Meanwhile, the sewerage system involves the laying of sewerage network pipelines, house connections, the construction of sewage pumping stations, and the implementation of a sea outfall system. This project was initiated to provide clean water and safe sanitary facilities to the Maldivians. With the inauguration of 28 facilities today, 28,298 of the intended beneficiaries have now received these essential services, covering 7% of the total population of the Maldives. During the external minister's official visit to the nation, the government has marked the completion of 6 projects undertaken with India's assistance. The completion of 6 key projects supported by India was celebrated during a special ceremony at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Maldives and India holds discussions centering on bolstering bilateral ties in 6 key areas.
The discussions were held between President Dr. Muhammad Muiz and Minister of External Affairs of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. The meeting was held at the President's office. During the meeting, President Dr. Muiz welcomed the Indian External Affairs Minister to the Maldives. The President reiterated his gratitude to the Indian government for the warm and kind hospitality during his visit to India to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Minister Dr. Jaishankar expressed appreciation to the President for attending the swearing-in ceremony and conveyed greetings from Prime Minister Modi. He reaffirmed India's unwavering commitment in assisting the Maldives in all fields. Speaking at the meeting, President Dr. Muiz and Minister Dr. Jaishankar discussed the ongoing projects and steps to take to enhance bilateral relations in various fields. They discussed the implementation of existing projects as well as areas for future collaboration, including in economic, housing, defense, tourism, capacity development, and infrastructure development. The President also shed light on the long-lasting ties between the Maldives and India, affirming that the Maldives will remain steadfast in maintaining and enhancing the bilateral relations. The meeting concluded with both leaders reaffirming their commitment to support each other towards the development and benefit of both countries and for prosperous and strengthened Maldives-India relations in the coming years. Minister Dr. Jaishankar is currently on an official trip to the Maldives, and he is set to conclude the trip on August 11th.
The government marks the completion of 6 projects undertaken with India's assistance. The completion of 6 key projects supported by India was celebrated during a special ceremony at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The event was attended by India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is currently on an official visit to the Maldives. The following projects were completed under the Exim Bank of India's line of credit and include the Medical Health Unit at Ungufar Regional Hospital, the Mental Health Unit at Ungufar Regional Hospital, the Child Development Center at Kurudufushi Regional Hospital, and an Inclusive Education Support Unit at Tinadu City Abubakar School. It also includes an Inclusive Education Support Unit at Ihatu School, Lam Atoll, an Inclusive Education Support Unit at Ha Alif Atoll Education Center, and the Street Lighting Project in Timarafushi and Wemandu in Thai Atoll and Konde in Gaf Alif Atoll. These projects aim to enhance healthcare, education and infrastructure across the Maldives. Minister of External Affairs of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, emphasizes the goal of expanding relations between India and the Maldives beyond the existing areas of cooperation.
Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Jaishankar highlighted the strengthening of India-Maldives ties, noting that the relationship has been strengthened in ways that benefit the citizens of both nations. He also said the collaboration in sectors such as health, education, construction and defense, while expressing a desire to further deepen cooperation in additional areas. The 28-island initiative, which he handed over, is the largest environmentally friendly project ever undertaken in the Maldives with foreign assistance. Furthermore, Minister Jaishankar noted a significant portion of the electricity needed to operate the water systems will come from renewable energy sources. He also said that $110 million have been invested in solar power infrastructure. Minister Jaishankar is currently on an official visit to the Maldives until August 11th. During his visit, He also marked the completion of 6 projects supported by the Indian government and participated in the 5 million tree planting initiative of the Maldives by planting a tree himself.
India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, plants a Carambola star fruit tree with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Maldives, Musa Zamir. This move signifies India's utmost support to the Maldives on the project of planting 5 million trees, which is an initiative of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. In a post shared on social media, Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Tariq Ibrahim, stated this move also represents India's support to the Plant for Mother program organized by the Indian government. The minister stated that this initiative also symbolizes the long-standing friendship between the Maldives and India. During his official visit to the Maldives, Minister Dr. Jaishankar paid a courtesy call to President Dr. Muiz. He also officially handed over the completed project of establishing water and storage facilities in 28 islands of the Maldives. The significant project was financed through the line of credit facility by the Export-Import Bank, Exim Bank of India. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed reveals that 200 more Khatibs will be trained by the end of August through the Young Khatibs program.
The government has set a goal to train 1,000 young Khatibs during this term. The shortage of imams and khatibs in many islands has led to the reliance of foreign imams and the need to bring khatibs from abroad, especially during Ramadan. The government has initiated a nationwide effort to produce trained khatibs across the country to tackle this issue. As such, in the first round of the training program, 100 imams have already completed their training, with an additional 200 currently undergoing training. A certificate awarding ceremony is scheduled for August, after which 300 imams will have been trained within 8 months. In a social media post, Minister Shahim highlighted that the program is being conducted under the guidance of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. He expressed satisfaction with the positive response to the initiative and reaffirmed his commitment to training 1,000 khatibs during this term. The Islamic Ministry has also confirmed that the second batch of the Young Khatibs program is in progress, with examinations to be held in 3 regions including Malé City, Addo City and Meme Atoll. This round of training includes sermons, prayers and other specialized religious studies. The program is tailored for students in grade 10, 11 and 12, enabling them to lead Friday prayers. The program is also a key part of President Dr. Muiz's efforts to build a society that prioritizes religious matters.
Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Maldives Ports Limited MPL, Mohammad Wajih Ibrahim, says the sea-to-air cargo service has been a success, with around 12 containers of cargo being shipped to European countries each month. Speaking to PSMNEWS, CEO Wajih highlighted the efforts made by MPL to boost revenue, noting that the company launched the sea-to-air cargo service as part of its strategy to expand the maritime sector. He explained that this emerging industry has seen significant growth, particularly in the transshipment of garments from Bangladesh to Europe. He also said the cargo is initially transported in containers to Sri Lanka and then flown to various destinations around the world. Additionally, Wajih confirmed the success of the service, stating that approximately 12 containers are now sent to Europe every month. He also said that discussions are ongoing to further expand the service. The sea-to-air cargo transshipment services are a collaborative effort between MPL, Maldives State Shipping MSS, Maldives Airports Company Limited MSEL and International Airlines. The service aims to enhance the cargo capabilities of the Maldives, diversify the economy and provide businesses and industries in the region with faster and more efficient freight services through this hybrid model. The People's National Congress (PNC) begins an extensive membership initiative in Male City and Vilimale. Speaking to PSMNEWS, the Secretary General of PNC, Zeenaz Adnan, explained the initiative aims to attract new members who are interested in joining the party but have not yet done so. She also said that the recruitment process will take place in phases, including a door-to-door form filling approach. Additionally, Zeenaz highlighted the initiative extends to the atolls of the country, with the party's goal being to become the largest political party in the Maldives. She also emphasized the party will persist in its efforts until this objective is reached. Currently, there are 11 political parties registered with the Elections Commission of the Maldives, ECM. The Maldivian Democratic Party (MDP) holds the largest membership with 50,980 members, followed by the Progressive Party of the Maldives (PPM) with 34,827 members. The PNC ranks third with 28,704 members. The S&P 500 ended higher on Friday and was a little changed for the week after clawing back from Monday's steep dive that was prompted by fears of a recession and unwinding of a global yen-funded carry trade.
The technology sector led gains in the index for the day, while the CBOE Volatility Index, Wall Street's fear gauge, was down on Friday after surging to 65.73 at the start of the week. On Thursday, Fed policymakers expressed confidence that the inflation was cooling enough to allow interest rate cuts ahead and will take their cues on the size and timing of those cuts from the economic data. Monday's big decline followed a sharp sell-off last week as a weaker than expected July jobs report sparked recession fears, and the Bank of Japan's decision to hike interest rates on July 31st led to a sharp appreciation in the yen. That resulted in the unwinding of currency carry trade positions in which the yen is used to buy high-yielding assets. According to CME Group's FedWatch tool, investors see a 55% chance that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates by 50 basis points at its next policy meeting on September 17th to 18th, with a 25 basis point cut seen as having a 45% probability. The S&P 500 gained 24.85 points or 0.47% to end at 5,344.16 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 85.28 points or 0.51% to 16,745.30. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 51.05 points or 0.13% to 39,497.54.
At least 100 Palestinians were killed early Saturday, August 10th, when the Israeli military bombed the Al-Tabain school in the Al-Daraj neighborhood in eastern Gaza City.
The Hamas media office said in a statement that the strikes hit when people sheltering at the school were performing dawn prayers, leading to many casualties. The government media office in Gaza condemned the school massacre, saying that the attack is part of a broader campaign of genocide and ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people. It placed full responsibility on the Israeli occupation and the US administration. The Israeli military said in a statement that its air force targeted a command and control center where Hamas fighters were hiding. It claimed the school contained an operating military headquarters for the Palestinian group Hamas. The military said it had taken steps to reduce the risk of harming civilians, including the use of precise munitions, aerial surveillance, and intelligence information. With the bombing of this school, the total number of schools targeted by the Israeli army in Gaza City over the past week has increased to 6. Despite appeals from mediators including Egypt, the US and Qatar to stop hostilities, reach a ceasefire and a hostage exchange agreement, Israel persists with its deadly offensive on the Gaza Strip. This escalation came amid threats from retaliation by Lebanon's Hezbollah group following the assassination of its top commander. The Israeli onslaught against the Gaza Strip has killed nearly 39,700 people since last October, following a cross-border attack by the Palestinian resistance group Hamas. More than 10 months into the Israeli onslaught, vast tracts of Gaza lie in ruins amid a crippling blockade of food, clean water and medicine.
Ethiopia's Tamir Tola won gold in the men's marathon at the Paris Games on Saturday, August 10th, while Kenyan Eliud Kipchoge, who had been bidding for an unprecedented third consecutive Olympic crown, failed to finish.
Belgium's Bashir Abdi took silver, improving on his bronze from Tokyo, and Kenya's Benson Kipruto claimed bronze. Tola built a strong lead early on and crossed the finish line in 2 hours, 6 minutes and 26 seconds. Emerging from a pack of front-runners from the first steep ascent of an exceptionally hilly course, the former cross-country specialist seemed to only strengthen on the second hill as others faded behind him. Tola had an 18-second lead by 35 kilometers mark, which he extended as the Eiffel Tower came into sight and crowds lining the streets rode him on. He became the first Ethiopian winner of the Olympic men's marathon in 24 years. Tola's victory was all the more sweet given he was not initially on the team, having been called up after Cisse Lemma withdrew due to a hamstring injury. Tola, 32, won the New York Marathon last year in a course record. He crossed the finish line, cheered on by Ethiopia's former double Olympic 10,000 meters championship, whom he cited as one of his inspirations to become a marathon runner. Abdi, who started out competing in the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters, finished in 2 hours, 6 minutes and 47 seconds, with 33-year-old Kipruto posting a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes. Kipruto, who had posted the fastest time in the world this year, having won the Tokyo Marathon in March in a personal best of 2 hours, 2 minutes.
A UNESCO World Heritage Site nestled on the edge of a treacherous Adriatic Bay, the town of Kotor in Montenegro is struggling to cope with the surge in tourism that is clogging its narrow streets and raising environmental concerns.
Many visitors arrive on the hundreds of boats, yachts and cruise ships that dock daily on Kotor's harbor, leading some people to call for a hike in the €1, $1.09 fee that visitors from cruise ships are charged to enter the town. The number of annual cruise ship arrivals has risen steadily over the past decade, with about 500 expected this year. On Wednesday alone, 4 cruise ships carrying about 5,000 tourists moored in the town, which featured in the 2006 James Bond film Casino Royale. While tourism contributes roughly a quarter to the economic output, Kotor's 23,000 inhabitants are feeling the strain. A series of protests against excessive tourism has erupted in leading European destinations this year, including Barcelona in Spain and Santorini in Greece. Local people say too many visitors drive up the housing costs, pricing residents out of the market and cause congestion and other environmental problems. The surge in mass tourism is also taking a toll on the local marine environment. In neighboring Croatia, the UNESCO-listed resort introduced a Respect the City plan in 2017, capping the number of cruise visitors to 4,000 at any given time.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Dunia ke kali ke a program kang em ha balun